All right, so welcome everyone, and this is a very special session. It's like I love to take this kind of sessions again and again. And what is the main intent agenda of this session is to give you a kind of a roadmap. So all of you who have joined this program, I'm sure your goal to be part of our community is to get transition. Like whatever job role you are in, you want to get join or transition in a SM job role, in a PO job role, right? And everyone face some challenges, like maybe not able to give time or notice period. My background is different, right? So everyone has some different kind of challenge. But still, if someone is persistent in this journey, definitely you can. And if you have to learn about how to, so anyway, we as a mentor, we are always here for helping you in this journey. But why not learn from your peers, someone who is also part of the same program like this community, and what they did so that they were able to get transition. So in this series, and I every month I try to do this. Today we have Ankita with us. So Ankita, you can turn on your camera and let's get started. So I have framed this session in two ways. The first part over here is in this session is I will be having some specific set of question what I will be asking to Ankita. And later on at end, you will have opportunity, anyone having any question, what you can do is you can post your question here in the chat box and we'll be taking question from here. Okay. So, all right. So let's get started. Ankita, congratulations for your achievement and transition for the PO job role. And with this, let's get started. So you can start with first about yourself. Just you can give a background, not about your, tell me about yourself while I interview one. No, just like something about your background. You can unmute yourself and get started. Yeah.
Yeah. So, firstly, I would like to thank you for guiding me in this journey so that I have cracked this interview. So, hi everyone, I am Ankita. I am coming from a QA background. Like, I'm having 5 years of experience working as a manual tester. So, there my role was to like work on the test planning, designing, raising bug, and connecting with the Scrum team. So, yes, that's my background.
All right. So in total, how much experience you had in the testing?
Like
Overall.
5 years of experience.
Mhm. Okay. So you're working in the testing, manual, automation, or what it was?
So mostly I have worked on manual part, very less exposure to automation.
Okay. So from I think around 5+ year experience, 5.5 or something in the testing, right?
Yeah, it's almost five only.
Almost five. So what make you to think about, okay, okay, fine, I'm doing QA, but not QA, I want to do something different. What was the thought process behind the transition?
Like I have the opportunity to transition my career on the automation side, but
Mhm.
I tried that, but I did not like it much. So I have other opportunities as Scrum Master and Product Owner. So I thought like I'll transition my career first as a Scrum Master, and
Mhm.
then I'll go further with the Product Owner part. But then I joined this training session and I connected with you. Although you also know that
Mhm.
initially I have joined for Scrum Master, but when I connected with you, then you told me that why can't you go for product owner? So then I skipped that Scrum Master part and directly switched to the product owner role for transitioning my career to QA from QA to as a product owner.
All right. And whenever we think about transition, so definitely it's not easy decision, especially let's say like someone having experience in a specific job role, like you were QA for 5 year, I'm sure comfortable, like whatever job we do, we become comfortable. But
Yeah.
was it there a kind of a fear? What if I try to do something and what if I'm not able to do? Was something on that part?
Yeah, definitely. Like whenever we switch to, like whenever we even think to switch our career, like not career domain as well.
Mhm,
So we
mhm,
do have a lot of fear. Like when you told me that you can go for a product owner role, that time I have a lot of question like, will I be able to do this or not? Because in my team, I have seen the product owner is having a lot of experience. Like he is a very
mhm,
senior person. So I never thought that at this age I'll become a product owner.
mhm.
So definitely that time I have a lot of queries, a lot of questions that will I be able to do or not. But then I started trusting the process, and I start attending the product owner training session. That time also I was not very confident that I'll
Mhm.
be able to do it, but somehow I trust the process, take one step at time, and then I was able to do it.
Okay. So as you said, initially you don't had the confidence that, okay, I'm not sure, okay, I'm trying, enrolling, but I will able to make it or not, right? It's happened with everyone. So what was the moment when you felt that, no, looks like I have taken a right decision and certainly I can make it? There must be some kind of moment, some specific stuff, maybe attending the class or maybe a conversation or something that invokes the thought that, yes, it's for me, I can make it.
Like when I start attending the training session, I
Mhm.
feel very good, like it's a kind of mindset. But that time also I was not very confident, because mindset can't be built in a single day. So I was like, how can I shift my thinking from a QA perspective to a product owner perspective? So that is a whole different thing. I was not even sure that what kind of question a product owner should ask. But what I used to do is, every time you have seen that I ask questions. I don't know if I'm asking the correct question or not, but I always used to ask the questions. Sometimes it might not be the correct question, but that I started doing this, start asking questions. So that was the first part I started doing, and that completely changed my perspective, because whenever you give us a case study, we start thinking on a product perspective. Now
Mhm.
even if I talk to someone who don't even know about it, but I started thinking like a product perspective, that what happen if I do this on a revenue part, how customer focus should work. So that is a complete shift when you start asking questions. So that is the very important part I think people need to do. So yes, that is very much important.
All right. So again, before we go on your interview preparation journey, before that, let's say when you join the program, you must have some expectation, right? Whenever we enroll or we do something. So what was the exact expectation, and did you get whatever you expected, less than that, more than that, or it managed your expectation, the entire journey?
Okay, so like when I joined this session, actually my sister has already completed the course from you, so
Mm.
she only recommended me that. So when I joined the session, like she told me that the sessions are very good, you can also join, and she is the only person who referred me to you.
Mhm.
So that time I also joined for Scrum Master, but when I joined as a Scrum Master that day, like after one session only, I got that invitation for the Diamond program. So that day only I like converted my normal program to Diamond program, because that is something which I needed that time.
Mhm.
So I completely shift from Scrum training to that Diamond program, and after that only the first conversation we had, it is regarding that why are you doing this, why are you not looking for product owner, your background is also good. So like I don't know what to do at that time, but I just trusted you, because you are saying and you do have some experience. You have also checked my background, so you might have some expectations that I can do that. So at that time, I just don't focus on anything. I just started believing that okay, if you are saying let's try it. If I will not be able to do it, then again I have another option. I can do the Scrum training and go for Scrum Master. But I thought just to give it a try, so I started giving it a try, and fortunately I made it. So yes.
All right, superb. So whenever we join any program, so content is the one part of it, like you attend the class and then you learn, you upskill yourself. But definitely when we have to go for something, a bigger journey, if we have to go for, so mindset shift is definitely much more than that required. So if I ask you in this entire training journey, maybe one specific moment where your mindset shifted that, okay, I'm trying or I meant for something bigger, I can do something bigger. What was that specific moment?
Like that is not a single moment where I think that I'll be able to do it.
Mhm.
Like uh, like you give opportunity to us when you are taking our training. Every day you give some 5-10 minutes so that people can speak. But
Mhm.
I think where people are lacking is, they don't want to speak. They think that they are attending the class and they'll
Mhm.
take a note and they'll simply get the job. No, it's not like that. Whenever you are getting an opportunity to speak, people should speak. So I try to speak. You also know that when I started speaking, maybe I don't speak well, but when I get the opportunity in any training session, either it be Jira training session or POPM or the product owner session, I always try to speak. And luckily, my name starts with A, so I always get the opportunity to speak much. Anyways, if people want to speak, first nobody say that you can't speak, but what I have seen, like a lot of people join the training session, and whenever you create a separate room for speaking, people don't speak. Sometimes I found myself that I am the only person speaking in that room. So
Mhm.
that is very much important. People don't speak, they are in, like they have a lot of fear that if we speak, what if I'll say wrong, I don't know anything. Nobody knows anything, that is why we are here. So
That's
we
true.
should speak,
All right,
no
super.
matter you are speaking correct or not correct, but you should speak.
Okay, so you got opportunity to speak in the breakout room. That was the one. Apart from it, maybe one or two things you can highlight.
Yeah, like we do start taking mock interviews in the
Mhm.
morning. That is
Mhm.
also one thing, like you should practice. Plus you have added a lot of interview question in LMS portal, so that
Mhm.
I used to take, like at least scroll once and try to write the answer. Like you cannot remember everything. Once you start speaking, you have to create a story. So when I start giving interviews, I used to write the question and try to create stories for all the answers. Although whatever I have written, I never speak that, but we have some points. So if the interviewer asks any question, we can use our points to any kind of question. It is not that if he asking the same question, then only I'll give that answer.
Mhm.
I can use that point to any answer any question. So that also I have learned from this training part only, that you should write, you should speak, you should create stories to answer
Oh,
that.
okay. So now let's go to your interview part. So I think you joined the training in the December month last year, December, right? Or
Yeah.
November? December
No, I
month.
joined in December.
December morning batch you joined. That was your
No, no,
batch.
no. Night batch.
Or December night means maybe mid of December you started.
Yeah.
And when was your maybe December, then January, Jan or Feb, so your course was completed, right?
Mm.
So in that, when was your first interview and how was that first interview experience? Because
It
first
was
interview
horrible.
definitely, yeah, because a job which I have not done, for that I have to give interview. And why
Yeah.
I'm asking this question, because a lot of people, not lot, I would say everyone has the same dilemma. How I can give, how I can do it. My background is different. I have not done this job, right? So what was your mindset? How was your interview? Just walk through in that interview journey.
So the very first interview which I gave was in December itself, when I
Mhm.
was continuing with the product owner training. So
Mhm.
that was completely horrible. Like I don't want to even remember this. I
Mhm.
remember like there was a lot of people, like five, six people were there in a
Mhm.
conference room, and they were asking question. They simply asked me to explain my project, and I got so nervous that I was not even able to speak. Then they told me, you can turn off your camera, have some water. That was my first experience. You can imagine the level of confidence I was having while giving my first interview. So it
Mhm.
was really horrible. And I don't think so, like means I have overcome this. Like this career, like this transition is not only about to getting the job, it is about overcoming your fear. And nowadays I think people have a fear of facing interviews. I was also having, and what I have done in my interview, that is to truly an example
Mhm.
of how confident I was when I started giving interviews. So that time I was like, how can I even able to do this, because I was not even able to explain my project which I
Mhm.
have done for the last 5 years. So how can I get a job? So that time I definitely feel very underconfident that I don't know if I'll be able to do it or not. But after that, when I start giving interviews in Feb, so that was a continuous process. So initially, like when my interviews start getting converted, like HR calls start getting converted in interviews, I was not very confident. I never say, if they ask me that are you available today for the interview, I never say that yes, I'm available, because I was not very confident that I'll be able to do it today itself. I always say
Mhm.
no, you can schedule it tomorrow or day after tomorrow, because I was never prepared. Sometimes I was so nervous that I used to ask them to reschedule the interview, and I was thinking that if the interview will happen tomorrow, I will feel very confident, but it never happened. Again, I was in the same situation. So sometimes one more interview I missed also because of this, because if I rescheduled the interview, they might have given the opportunity to some other
Come on.
candidate, and
Correct.
it never came to me. So yeah, I have lost two, three opportunities because of that. But after that, I realized no, it's the same thing, and it will happen every day until unless I start facing the interview. Then I start giving the interview. After two, three interviews, I was like a bit confident that yes, I can give it. Then I gain some confidence and start giving interviews.
All right. So again, message from this, what I would like to give everyone is everyone has the same fear. Like, and I know that whoever join program, it happens like 20-30% people don't go to the interview. Why? Because I'm not ready, I'm not prepared. Some
Mhm.
people do go again, like first interview you saw it was a disaster. Like interviewer is saying, hey, stop video, take some break. It means definitely it was a really disaster. But still having the commitment that no, it's not, this is the not the end. I have to go further. It requires a commitment and zeal to excel. And once you do it, definitely with experience, it comes. So
Yeah.
now let's say you gave your first interview in December, disaster interview. Then again you gave Jan Fab. So what was the interview number which gives you the offer? Like how many interview you have given? The first round, if you talk about.
First round, I think five or six.
Okay, so fifth or sixth interview was that where you got the offer letter.
Yeah,
Okay.
first round.
Okay, so now let's break before we talk about the result. Let's break the interview part. So in this interview part, what was the biggest challenge for you? What you faced? Someone who has not done the job, you're giving interview, it was a disaster. Again, you did some practice, but what are the biggest challenge for you?
Like when I start giving interviews, I start getting calls for product managers. So I was like,
Mhm,
if they are selecting me, why will I like cancel the interview? But
mhm,
I was very clear that I am looking for product owner job.
mhm,
Just because to get into the interview, I never say that I'll work as a product manager. I always say that I am working as a product owner. So
mhm,
what happened? Like sometimes when I started giving interviews, they only ask one question, and after
mhm,
that one question, if I was not able to answer that, they were simply like, okay, I am done. But I always used to ask the question, like whatever the question they ask me, at least I get to know the answer of that. So I always used to ask that what will be the answer for that, or I ask in a way so that they can explain me that
mhm,
particular question. And
mhm,
from that, like the takeaway, I have explained that particular scenario in my interviews. So
mhm,
I always used to ask the questions, even though if they are asking only one question or two question, try to get the mindset what they are having. So it is
mhm,
very important, even though you don't know anything, but at least you are getting the opportunity to speak. So I ask them to explain, and definitely explain me. Anyways, I am not going to connect with that interviewer ever again. So
mhm,
it's better that at least I am getting to learn something from him. And
mhm,
that proper example I have used everywhere in my interview. So this is something which they asked me. And I will never forget this because I was not able to answer that question.
mhm.
So that is why I asked him to explain so that I can use it further.
All right. So again, let's say again, let me reframe the question. So let's say when you start giving interview. So in interview, there's something like scenario-based question, practical. They ask with your experience, something about theoretical aspect. So this entire journey, like from day one, when you give your first interview till that you crack the interview, what was the biggest challenge? Maybe in the mindset, or maybe the interviews, or topic wise, something that you feel that you could have done better in the terms of preparation.
Actually, like when we started giving interviews, the theoretical part is everyone knows about it.
Mhm, mhm,
But what happens, like we don't practice on it.
mhm,
So I remember in one interview, I am aware about the user story point.
mhm,
Though I was able to explain it, but not properly. So it is a relative like estimation. So
mhm,
I was aware about it, but I was not able to answer it because we always try to focus on the practical question, scenario based question, and
mhm,
we always forget to like revise the basic, like scrum, what is scrum. And even though we are applying for the product owner role, we
mhm,
should be aware of the basic part. So
mhm.
this was my issue because I don't focus on the basic thing.
Okay.
But when I realized that I should focus on that basic thing as well, then I started doing it.
Okay. So now let's go after the result. Let's say you join December month, the program mid-December or so. And when you got the offer letter, I think it's March mid something, March mid, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So how was the feeling like when you got the offer letter, you checked your email and okay, you expected some number and you got some number. So how was the feeling when you see that number? in your email?
Like as I mentioned, I used to take participation in the morning momentum session.
Mm-hmm.
So I was not sure that whatever the number I was asking, is it too much to ask for or not?
Mm-hmm.
But I always used to write that. I don't want to show it anyways. But yeah, like whatever the number I have written
Mm-hmm.
in that particular call, every day I used to write it, even though I was traveling. But we have one book that time na, Think and Grow Rich.
Think and grow
So
rich. Yes.
you told us to read one page and not one page, one chapter, and explain it every day. So
Mhm.
that day I was traveling and I was like standing in front of airport and explaining you that no, I have to do it. Like even though when I was traveling, I never failed to write it. I was in cab and I was writing that thing properly, and it really worked. Whatever the number I have written, I exactly got the same.
Mhm.
So yes, manifestation also do work if you work for it. Not only manifestation that I am writing it and I'm not doing anything, then
Mhm.
definitely you'll not get it. But if you are working for it and you really want it, you have to be very desperate for getting a job or whatever the CTC you want. So definitely you have to work for it and it will work.
All right. So now let's say you have crossed the journey. So coming from a different, let's say QA background to being in a product on a job role now, you will be joining recently in some time. So what do you think someone is very much focused, committed to make a transition? How much time is good enough to make this journey, to complete, to pass this journey?
I think 3-4 months is enough.
3-4 months is enough. Okay.
Like dedicated 3-4 months is enough.
Mhm. All right. So again, to summarize, let's say, what is your message to aspiring people who want to get transition? What, let's say, if you say that, okay, you must do one, two, three things or something, or maybe you don't do at all, this one, two, three, what it will be? Do's and don'ts.
Okay, so as of now, what I am feeling is like suppose I am joining your training program, because nowadays internet is full lot of information. So what people do
Mhm.
is, like suppose I am joining your training program, but there are a lot of success journey or a lot of things are available in the internet. So what people do is they get distracted. They were like, okay, if I have joined the correct training program or not, they are getting hired, I am not getting hired. But they never see it is not your mentor who is doing the job, it is you who is doing the job. No matter how much you are paying, no matter what you are doing, at the end you will be the person who have to work on it. So
Mhm.
that is very important. So what I have observed, that people try to start gathering information from others, that okay, what you have done, what you have read, what is your experience. So okay, definitely it is important to know about others people perspective, but always try to make your own routine. Maybe something is working for them but not working for you, so it's not that you can't do it. You just have to listen to other people, but hamesha you have to build your own perspective, that try, but again remain, stick to your routine, that yes, this is working for me and this is not working for me.
Mhm.
So that is very important. And another thing is people were thinking that yes, I am a diamond program member, so that is why I get the job easy. No, it's not like that. The same thing, the same market you are in, I am also in the same market. It's just that definitely if we are paying extra, so extra cost comes with some extra benefits. Definitely, it's correct. So I do used to get some guidance like one-to-one connect certification and a lot of things which your diamond program is having. But ultimately you have to work for it. It's not that you have joined the diamond program and then rest you are fine and Jitendra sir will give you a job in your hand. It's not like that. You have to work for it.
Very true. So
So
it's like I blindly say there's no program in the world, there's no any degree in the world like you do, you pay something and then you'll able to get it. It doesn't work like that, especially in the journey of transition. You have to work, but again, as a mentor, definitely you get access and you get result of it. Okay. So last message before we hand it over to the other participants to ask question. Your message, let's say one line if you have to talk about.
so for everyone who is preparing for interviews, I just want to say that take one step at a time. Like when I start applying for job, initially my interviews call were not getting sorry, my HR call were not getting scheduled to interview call, and that time I was like, how can I say, like how can I lie that my notice, I am serving notice period. So
Right.
that is one problem we face. But once you start speaking on it, you get, matlab, you practiced it every day, so you start living. When I used to say that 31st March was my last working day, I started feeling that 31st March was my last working day, even though that time I was not even resigned. So if you start living whatever you want, like when you told me that give your introduction, maybe I could have said that I am working as a product owner, because that I have told in a lot of interviews. So I am thinking that I am working as a product owner, but no, it's not correct. So once you start speaking now, then you'll get it so like practice that you can lie every time. And that is when I started converting my HR call to interview call. So it's a process. Even though like what I have faced is sometimes you will not get a single interview call because of holidays or anything,
Mhm.
but you might not get any interview call for 2 weeks as well, but suddenly you will get a lot of interview calls and you will give 3 4 interviews in a single day. So it's just you have to be stay consistent, update your Naukri profile twice or thrice a day, update your resume. Like after every 2 to 3 week, try to update your resume, because if you check after 3 weeks your resume ATS score will decrease. So it's always good to update your resume as well. I always used to do this, because sometimes when I updated it, it was 90, but after 2 weeks it might decrease to 70 or maybe even less than that. So you just have to rephrase it, you just have to modify it. And now we have Chat GPT and a lot of AI tools, so take advantage of it.
Mhm.
Another thing is stay focused, stay consistent, and try to do it. Even though if you're not getting interview calls, be in practice, because once you get the interview call, you were not in practice, so you won't be able to make it. So it is very important to stay in practice, try to connect with your colleagues or with your, not colleagues, with your friends here, and try to take participation in the mock interviews. Ask as much as hard question you can, so that if you fail in that question you will learn more. So that I want to tell everyone who is preparing here.
All right, superb. And thank you very much for sharing your insights, Ankita. I'm sure it has been inspiring or insightful for everyone. So to summarize, as you saw, it's like, as also Ankita mentioned, it happens sometime that you are doing everything, but you're not getting call. But sometime it happens in a day, you got 5 calls, next there are 3 interviews to do. But what is the most important part over here is consistency. Always, whenever I take a session, I start with a core value. You start, you finish. So you have taken a baton, you have taken a decision that no, I'm going to make it. So just not quit, don't retreat until you are not able to make it. So now that's all question from my side. Now we'll open house now. So anyone having any questions, if you have, you can add your questions here in the chat box, and one by one we'll be taking the questions from there. So, first question I can see is from Randeep. Randeep, what is Diamond Program? So, we'll be having a session day after tomorrow on Friday. We'll talk about that, what it is all about. Second question also is from Randeep. Which source you use to apply for jobs? So, Ankita, you can take this question. Where all you applied? What platform you used for it?
So mostly I use Naukri, and
Mhm.
apart from that sometimes I used to apply on LinkedIn as well, but in LinkedIn you might not get calls.
Mhm.
But if you update your profile in Naukri and update your resume, you might get some calls.
Okay. All right. Anyone else, any question you have, you want to ask here? That's a time, that's a platform for you. So you can ask your questions, whatever uh, you have, and you can, Ankita is here. So Arjun question is, have you taken paid subscription on Naukri?
No, I have not taken any paid subscription.
Okay, all right. So next one is okay, Salma. So in interview, what were the I think main questions based on previous experience or scenario based? How much experience did you show? So what all interview questions again she has already taken. I think that's already there in the LMS. She has uploaded it. Something more will be added. But again, you can take this question. So it's like out of 5.5 year experience, how much you shown as a PO?
So, like, I was having total 5 years of experience. So, I have
Mhm.
mentioned 2 years as a QA
Okay.
and 3 years as a product owner.
Okay. So 2 year QA, 3 year as a PO. That's what your pitch. All right. So next is from Raj Nandini. Can you, okay, where it is? Okay, I think a lot of questions we are getting. It's good. So can you please tell about your study pattern for interview? So like you're already in a full-time job with that, how you manage, how many hours, what all you did? Maybe in a short you can add answer for this.
So, like, when I start giving interviews, you have to manage if you are working and it's a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
So, whatever basic we have, at least try to study for 2 hours so that you can be in the practice. And also, like, when I used to get any interview call, so when I get the JD, I
Mm-hmm.
used to give that JD to ChatGPT and give the prompt that act as an interviewer and give me the question, scenario-based question.
Mm-hmm.
So, if ChatGPT gave the question, I try to answer those questions with my experience. Like, I was, whatever experience I was having as a QA, I tried to convert those experience as a PO. Like, scenarios I was already having, so I just try to convert them as a PO and try to answer in that way.
Okay. So next I have three questions, same essence. Question is from Gyaneswari. How did you manage the notice period? From Jayank, when a HR asked you about your notice period, what did you tell? And same question for Nachiket, what was your notice period? If 3 months, how did you manage it? So I would say everyone, you know the answer I have already given, but still for benefit of everyone, Ankita, you can take this. What you did to manage, how it was.
So my notice period is 90 days. I'm still serving my notice period.
Mhm.
So I was also not confident that what if I say that I'm serving my notice period, the HR will caught me and what will happen. So sometimes may any company ask you to send the resignation acceptance mail, or if you have resigned, send me that. So you have to lie.
Mhm.
You have to give some email or some edited email that yeah, my last working day is this. I have also done this, but when you say confidently that no, my last working day is this, HR is not even going to ask this. Why we lack here? Because we are lacking a lack of confidence is there. So when you start saying everything confidently, nobody is going to question you.
Okay.
So say it confidently.
Okay, so I can see two more question on the same. Rupa, my notice period 3 months. How did you mention? It's the same, Rupa. Tanmay question also the same. How were you able to manage your notice period? So again, you say the same thing, like what is, and then it will happen. So can you share your prompt sheet for Chat GPT? So again, if you have prepared any specific prompt sheet, so the best way is, again, there's nothing like prompt sheet or so. Simple, let's say, ask this question. I am preparing for, let's say, whatever job, a Scrum Master, showing 3 year experience. What can be the top 10 question? That's a simple one. You can start and then you can keep on adding your questions there. How much increment we can expect with 6 year experience as a QA while transitioning to PO? So yes, it's a question from Megha. Over to you.
Like, I don't know what to say for this
Okay.
question. Like, it's up to you, like how much interview you can give, plus
Mhm.
what is your negotiation skills if company is offering you X, so you can ask for no, like
Okay.
you have to
So
do a lot of research, like for the companies you are applying for, that what is their salary range. So definitely you have to negotiate, plus it also depend on your previous salary. You cannot simply ask for 100% increment, but if you try and if you are confident that yeah, I have that skills, so you can get as much as you can.
all right. So again, we can't explain the say the number, but just to give a reference, how it works is in the PO job role. If I say the average, again, I use the same formula for Scrum Master. It's like average is 2 to 4 times of your average. I'm talking about 2 to 4 times of your experience. As in, let's say I'm someone with 8 year experience, 2 to 3 times is the number. For PO, it works like 3 to 5 times is the average number. But I know, again, people who are getting 7 times, 8 times as well, right? So it totally depends on person to person. But just to give a brief, so whatever I said, 3 to 5 times, definitely Ankita is on the higher side on that part. Okay, so not revealing the number, but yes, that's a reality. So next question is from Yaversol. Why did you not took Scrum Master role and took product owner role, as the Scrum Master can also be the project manager if has the technical know-how, not only the people manager. See, Yavar, it's like everyone has a different aspect. So again, as Ankita said, she decided to go with the SM part. So again, my take is someone who is having, let's say, experience something around more, maybe 7, 8, 10 year, 12 year or higher side. Definitely natural choice is you go for the SM job role. Okay. Someone having less experience, that PO is definitely can be a better choice. That's what was the insight. And there's some more factors why I suggested Ankita to pitch for PO, not for the SM. Okay.
I also wanted to know it right now.
Okay.
Why you suggested me PO?
Yeah, so there are two aspects here. Simple is long-term journey aspect. If I talk about the pay wise, so PO job role pays better than SM. That's the correct aspect. And if someone is having, let's say, 10-year experience, right? So if you apply for a PO job role, so PO or BA, so there will be questions for domain, questions will be for again as the BA or PO plus question from a Scrum. So when someone is just willing to get a transition, like from different job role, especially for non-IT, SM is the easiest way you can get it.
Mm.
Again, I'm from a QA background. I have to make a transition. Still, SM is the easiest way to transition. Okay. PO requires a bit more effort, but in the long journey, it pays in a better way in the terms of all the way. That's what was the main reason for it.
Okay,
Okay. So
totally justified.
all right. So, Rajnish, can high salary be a reason for not getting calls by recruiter? And do we need to reduce salary in Naukri? So, salary cannot be the only reason, but I think I always say everyone doesn't matter how much pay you are getting. You mentioned that you are getting, let's say, 10 LPA. At least you should get the calls. And then you will be able to, you will be in the journey. That is the most important aspect here. Okay. So next one is Randeep. Any question in your selected interview where you stuck, but you got the offer, which the most repeated technical question? Let me repeat. Any question in your selected interview where you stuck, but you got the offer? I think it's quite confusing. Which is
You know,
the
I get the question.
okay? Which is the
So,
most repeated technical question? Two questions are there. You can take it.
okay. So when we get into the interview, the basic question they ask regarding the DoD, like definition of done, definition of ready, plus user stories, how you write the user story, the
Mhm.
framework which are using, and the most repeated question is like if the stakeholder want to add something in between the sprint, and you are already crossed half of the sprint, then how you will manage that? So that is the most important question. Everybody will ask this question to you just to know what you do. What you have done is not the perspective, but how you are handling the stakeholder. It is very much important. And sometimes they do ask some question like, have you worked on it? Have you designed the product vision or something? So if you don't know it, and if you have not done it, like product vision is not a thing which product owner will do. So always say that yeah, I do take part in like with the help of the product management team, I do take part on it, but I don't design product vision. So I always used to say that I have worked on migration product, so I never used to get the product end to end. So migration product is different, and creating a product from scratch is different, and the process is also different, because when you creating a new product, sprint zero plus a research phase, discovery phase should also be there. So I have not done this. So I always used to say this very clearly that I am working on a migration product. So I never get the opportunity to design the product vision. Even though if I get the opportunity, I will definitely try to do it, because I am on the early phase of my career. And if I'm getting this opportunity, it is very good for me to add in my profile as well, and for my future career as well. So I always used to say it. Plus, if you don't get something, like do ask them, can you please repeat it? Or if you have not worked on it, be very clear that if they ask the cross question, you'll get stuck. So it is very important to say confidently that yeah, I have not worked on it. Maybe if I'll get the chance, I'll brush up on it, and I'll focus on this area most. So you have to be very clear. Don't lie. Means you have to lie, but not every time. So if you feel you'll get stuck, say it clearly that sorry, I have not worked on it.
All right, so Saurabh, question is if hiring manager asks some cross question your prior profile and why you won't move to QA to PO. So Saurabh, it's like not like you have to say that I want to move. You have already done it. So this question will not come as I'm saying here. Let's say that I started my journey as a QA. I am working right now as a PO itself. So this question doesn't come why you want. So that's already taken care. So Raj Nandini, have the HR asked for QA experience later as well? So I would say definitely yes. Whatever job you have done, you have to submit the document. So your question is about experience letter, then definitely. If it is about the QA experience question in the interview, I hope no, they don't ask that different previous one, whatever you have. It's just like whatever job role you're applying for, the question will be on the same. Okay. So Onis, for pure role, how important is to have technical knowledge? Question to you, Ankita. So for pure role, how important it is to have technical knowledge?
I think PO is not a more on the technical side. I think I have discussed with Avnish only
Mhm.
previously that even though if you are working as a PO, you should know about the terminologies that when you are talking to your stakeholders or when you are talking to your Scrum team, you should be aware when you are talking about APIs and when you are talking about some technical terms. You should have that knowledge when your team is coming to you and they are saying, no, I'm facing this difficulty. At least you should be able to understand that, so the basic will work. And now we have chat gpt and AI, everything. So it's not that you will be ready for everything. Whenever you get some question, maybe you can take some time and research on it. So it's just that if you know and aware of the basic, you will okay, like you are okay to go.
Okay. Some questions I'm skipping from here as it's looks like repeated. And let's say, yes, question from Tanmay goes, did you take offer first, then resigned, or resigned first, then you took offer?
Honestly, I took the offer first and then I resigned
Yes,
when
that's
I
what
got
the
the offer
recommended
letter. Yeah.
practice. Never ever resign before you get offer letter. That's the first thing. Always I say, and okay, that's taken. Okay, okay, how to handle conflict. That's parking for later. Okay, okay. Did you cover up when the actual offer was rolled? Okay, yeah. So again, one question. All this repeated. So Rasika, question is, as you said, your last working day was something, but your actual was later than that. So how you managed to convince, or what are the scenario?
Like sometimes what happened, I was even not sure that what I have mentioned in my Naukri profile.
Mhm,
So sometimes I was like, okay, it is 15th of March, and they were like, means I told that it is 31st of March, and they were like, but in your Naukri profile it is mentioned it is 15th of March. Then
mhm,
what I used to say is, okay, it is previously it was 15th of March, I forgot to update it, but in notice period I took some leave in between, so it got extended. And I always used to say this because I never remember that what I have updated.
mhm,
So I say it confidently that yeah, previously it was this, but I took leave, 2 weeks of leave because I was not well, or some of my family member was not well, or because of my brother's wedding, or anything, whatever comes in my mind, I just say. And I just have to like remind this what I have said to the HR. But I used to say this, yeah, previously it was this, but now it got increased because I took some leave in between. And now also I used to say this only.
okay. All right. So next question is from okay, Sai Ramini Ramini. Okay, which domain are you currently working on? As far as I know, PO requires to have a sound domain knowledge. How were you able to manage questions around the domain part in your interviews? So you may give a quick answer for it.
Okay. So currently, like I'm coming from a telecom domain as well as finance part also. I have worked on it. So to be very honest, when you get the interview call, so nowadays, like HRs are very focused on the domain part. Like I also got some HR call for healthcare domain, or maybe for insurance domain, or e-commerce. So they are very much specific that they want some candidate from the same background. So that time you might not get the interview like call, because they were like, okay, we are looking for someone who is having experience on this. So it is like, okay, it's not for you. But some companies are flexible, like PO role does not require anything as a domain, because like I got one call for a healthcare domain,
Mhm,
and in that interview, like nobody was like, I gave the correct answer even though I did not get selected. Even the interviewer gave me feedback that you are the first one to answer those questions. I told you, right,
mhm,
that she praised me a lot. Then also I did not get the offer. Why? Because the other interviewer told me they try to work on some different domain. But you tell me, how can we work on different domain? We are working as a PO, and it's not that we are sitting at our home and work on other product. It's never going to happen. We will get some opportunity, then only we can work on multiple domains. But like when I give more interviews, that time they told me, what will you do if you get to work on some other like domain? So it is never a challenging task, because if even though I am switching from QA to PO, that is also new for me. If I am switching domain like finance to telecom or healthcare or anything, you will get to learn. First, you'll get some training. Apart from that, you have to give efforts. It's not that your journey will never end once you get the offer letter. Your actual journey will start from there. You have to survive the job. Getting job is easier than surviving the job. So you have to work on it. You have to work with them. You try to gain knowledge from your teammates. You try to gain some knowledge from internet, because everything is there. So you have to work on it. So it's not that some companies are very much rigid for domain, but not all the companies. So
Right.
there are
So
good
for
opportunities.
POP, definitely domain matters. But yes, you may prepare for a specific domain and definitely you can apply for it. But on the same time, every company doesn't ask for the domain. So in that way, also it can be managed. Okay, so next question is how many technical rounds you have to undergo? So again, Randeep, in PO or SM, there's nothing like technical round. It's always that normal interview. People do say, especially HR technical round, as it's core focus on the core skills. But again, with your experience, Ankita, average or in general, how many rounds interview happened? Like whatever interviews you have given,
Like four,
three to
like
four
three, yeah, 3 to 4, like three techno managerial and four is HR round.
HR. So three is what you can say. Fourth, anyway, it's HR just to
Yeah.
negotiation and discussion. So, Rasika, question, what percentage did you get on Power BI for interview? So, in your interview, did they ask on tools like Power BI, Tableau, any interview or so?
No,
No.
they have not asked me any single question on Power
On
BI,
Power
although
BI. Mhm,
we have to talk about analytics, that we
mhm,
will get the data. But anyways, product owner is not the person who is going to
mhm.
trace the data. The team will do. So they have not asked me any question.
So, again, some companies, they may ask, so accordingly it can be managed. So, Jan, question, overall, how many offer letters you got till now?
Uh, what to say here?
Yeah, you
Like
can say whatever that reality you can
two
speak about. I
companies
think
I
two.
rejected,
Okay.
and like after I
Yeah.
got the first offer letter, the
Mhm,
salary was higher. So after
mhm,
that, I got two more offer letter.
mhm.
Means they were supposed to release the offer letter, but before that only I
Okay.
rejected.
Yeah.
So it's three.
So the exact number is you can say one in the email or the document, but two also was there. But rejected reason is the first offer letter is comparatively quite high that
Higher
companies are not able
than,
to match.
yeah.
Okay. So it's good like to be in the position to reject, right? So normally we are always in the receiving side, but now no, I don't
Yeah.
want because it's not matching my expectation. Okay.
Yeah.
So next one is okay, all right. The new job, it's hybrid or how it is? The new job offer letter you got, it's hybrid, work from
Yeah,
home,
it's
how it is?
hybrid.
Hybrid. Okay,
Like mostly I got it for hybrid only.
hybrid. Okay. So I can see some more questions on notice period, but I'm going to park it for now. And I cannot see any more questions, anything new here. So, all right. So that's all that what we had to cover, what I had to talk about. So I'm sure everyone got good insight from the journey of Ankita. So again, if I have to summarize, so the simple aspect here is you start, you finish. Don't retreat. In between, there will be a lot of limiting belief that it will come that my background is different. I'm not from IT. Again, for someone who's in IT, I have not done this job. What to speak, what not to speak, what will happen in the BZV? There are so many questions, but every question has an answer. There's no, I firmly believe there's no problem in the world which cannot be solved until, like, if you are putting effort for it. So if you are in the journey, definitely you will be able to get it. There's no way that no, it's not possible. I had students again in the program who got result in 90 days. Someone, let's say in Ankita case, he finished the program and this 1 month. I have students who got in 3 months, 6 months. Some people took 1 year as well. Everyone journeys are different. Background is different. So the essence is don't compare yourself with someone else that if he or she got, why not me? But you think about, okay, what was I? What was my version 1 month back, 2 months back? Am I going ahead? Am I going in the right direction? Am I improving it or not? So believe in yourself, believe in process and be consistent. Definitely it will help you to land your job. All right. So thank you everyone for being here and we'll meet further in the upcoming session. Thank you, Ankita, for sharing your insights and definitely will conduct much more session from you in the weekly forum and something different.
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much, sir.
All right. Thank you
Thanks for
everyone. Bye-bye.
being
Thanks.